Hey everyone, it's Harry the Soul Coach, and I want to do a video today to show you that there are some big changes happening in this world. What are the big changes? Public perception, and that named Donald Trump. And again, before you switch off, I want to encourage you, please watch this. You always talk about Trump. Why are you talking about Trump for? You're a soul coach. I received that the other day. First of all, what is a soul coach? Can you find me another person that calls themselves a soul coach? And what should I be speaking about? I'm a soul coach. Truth, love, peace, and growth. If we look at Donald Trump, it covers all those topics. No, 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 no. That resistance, that trigger, that anger. The reason why I'm sharing this now, because this year is huge, huge, because it's going to impact all of us. This is something that is so big that it goes beyond politics. I'm not into politics. This is not about politics. This is about paying attention to the bigger picture. This is the Great Awakening. And this year, we're about to find out some very, very difficult truths. This is a biblical war that we've been in. It's dark versus light, and dark means evil, crime, criminals all around the world. All of that is now being pushed to us to show us what has been going on. When it comes to truth, it's truth that we have to experience ourselves to accept it. We rely on so much from other people. Information, the news, mainstream media, celebrities. We've heard it before, so we repeat it. The word heard, it's like a sheep mentality, a herd of sheep. We just listen what someone else tells us. And that's how we've got ourselves into these situations. Because people that share information, we call them gatekeepers across every aspect of life. They will tell you what they want you to hear, an agenda. And over the last 8 years, we've been seeing this shift. The whole world is changing. So this year, in November, there is the elections and Donald Trump will win. There is no getting around that. You can fight it. No, no, it's not good for the country. Again, listen, pay attention. Have a look at the stuff that's actually being presented. And the reason why I'm really putting some emphasis on this now, if you're still holding on, if you still have anger, if you're still getting triggered, this year is going to be very, very difficult for you. It's inevitable what is going to happen. It's going to be difficult, one, because we're holding on. We don't like to be wrong and we don't like what we're hearing. And everything that we've done in our previous life, our past choices, our arguments with people, the way that we show up, our opinions about things are going to be wrong. And it's going to be very hard to come back from. But the main important thing to know that we've all been wrong because we've all been lied to. Our whole life has been a big lie. That is really hard. And a lot of us have started waking up to that truth. And we've been digging into a lot of information. However, we're still about to find out some very, very difficult truths. It's going to start going from out there, mainstream, external world, all on the TV, to right on our doorstep. People in our lives that have been prominent in our lives are going to be on the wrong side. And we're going to find out some really, really challenging things about our life. So if we can start paying attention to the truth and being able to stand on the truth, which is what it all comes back down to. It's unable to be called a truth if you can't stand on it. And this is where people really struggle. So they hide away from it. They shy away from it. They choose not to get involved. However, because it is happening and we can see it now, and it's coming onto mainstream media, we're moving closer and closer. We're in February now, 2024. November election. So for that to happen, there's a lot of things that are taking place and it's starting to shift now. So I'm going to keep sharing a lot of this information along with the soul coaching, along with my meditations. Go beyond the messenger, or instead focus on the messenger first. Look what I'm about. Everything I put out, I will back up. And I invite people, challenge it, not me. Don't make it about me. Challenge the information, because when I back it up, I share the reasons why. Love, peace, growth. That's where we're heading. That is what's taking place. You name me what else you'd want from this world. These are the key parts, and Trump's been a big part of that with the military, with brave patriots around the world. And it's going to start tying a lot of this in together because there's people that are acting with Trump that are not part of the same team either. And you're going to see what else Trump has had to endure, knowing full well what is going on. So what is now happening is this shift taking place. The media are having to report on the truth. And we're seeing that with the primaries on the Republican side. Donald Trump won in Iowa by a landslide. Media didn't want to report on it. He won in New Hampshire by a landslide. Yesterday, we didn't really hear about it, but Joe Biden on the other side, in the Democratic primaries, he won by 96%, but hardly anyone turned up. The two people he's running against, no one's even heard of before. And they changed that. That was in South Carolina, predominantly a black area for voting. So they're not really showcasing it. However, there's still all these other states around America. They can't keep lying on that. So we're going to start finding out the truth about that side. So the media are going to actually report on what's going on. The world going to see actually no one is going for Biden. If these other people are competing with Biden and we don't know who they are, how is he going to win the election? Democrats, liberals, all these people, what's next? Then they're going to start seeing the overwhelming support that's been hidden from Trump. People like to get behind the masses, but again, it's not about politics. We have to look at what has happened and what is happening. And a big part of that, and what people have relied on before, they've hid behind the news, they've hid behind stories, they've hid behind all these lies that they can't do now because it's been proven time and time again. That's all it has been, lies. So then they hide behind celebrities who did endorse Biden, who did say they didn't like Trump. They didn't say they promoted Hillary Clinton either back in 2016. However, all the narrative is shifting, all for a reason. So I'm going to show you today, and this is from a quick scanning on my phone. The algorithm's mostly in favor because I look at this stuff, but what you're now seeing is these 1-minute clips, and all of them are now starting to showcase what Donald Trump is really about. So soon you're not even going to be able to use a celebrity to hide behind. And a lot of the ones that were outspoken before, that was done deliberately because this has been a whole war operation, maneuvering the masses' perception to this point where you can't get around for it. Because we're all in this together. When we find out how evil and corrupt and dark this world has been, operating all in our lives, and in most cases, a lot of us have been the human trafficking victims. When we start seeing the depth of this, especially with the internet, you're going to be blown away. They say 99% of the world would be in hospital if they found the full truth. So if we can start riding this wave, for me, the world is magical. Where we are heading is going to be in a different reality that we cannot even put into words. We cannot even imagine it because of what's going on now. So my job now is to showcase information. I share information. I call myself a sharer. And it allows people to have a different perspective. It allows people to see the duality, both sides. And when you see both sides, it's easier to make a choice. And what's taking place, that word, the Great Awakening, it's once in a lifetime. It's a war that we're in now, information. It doesn't involve army uniforms and guns and bullets. It's information. It's on our mind, it's psyop. So we're in this great awakening. It's something for us to remember. It's something for us to be able to share to future generations. It's something where future generations are going to look back at that moment in the World War. What did we learn about it? Well, the first thing that we learned, we were all fast asleep. The first thing we learned was there's a system that we were all born into that we were unaware of. And everything that we try to do in our life, there's always been restrictions, again, unaware of. And there's been people knowingly operating to deceive us, to distract us. And beyond all that, and this is where a lot of people are going to struggle with too, but it's not a struggle when God is present. It all comes back to God, creator, source, the universe, spirituality. It all comes back to this magic inside us. We are the gods. And we're going to start seeing how the biblical text, which has been passed down with a message from deceivers and preachers and really angry people, that we switch off from that too. We don't even want to associate it with. But when you can start seeing the truth is very simple. And when it's the truth based on our feelings, you can trust in yourself a lot more then, because it's one or the other. It's truth, God, soul, or the opposite, and act, ego, fear. As soon as you can start trusting yourself more, every decision and every moment, you trust in it. Someone invites you out and you get this real uncomfortable feeling, I don't want to go, I don't trust that person. And then your ego goes, go on, go, it'll be fine. And then you regret it. That little gut feeling, that's your soul. You just say, no, that's it. And you go with that. And we're moving into this world where all evil, and a lot of it has been clearing out. You get a lot of deceivers in the spiritual world saying, can you feel the shift? Getting your third eye, you're getting downloads, you're getting upgrades, DNA upgrading, all these things. It's because the world is taking out darkness. You take out that energy, it's not moving around and spreading anymore. It means more love comes in from dark to light. So I'm going to show you all these celebrities, and I want you to look at the bigger perspective now. Look at how the shift of the masses, the influence it has on people. And the more and more you're going to see, more and more people are going to come out and speak about it. And the one ask I keep sharing with people is to let go of these individual people and attachments, and they're wrong, they're in Gitmo, they're taking out, they're evil, they're all part of this plan. Everything we're seeing now is done by design. Again, there's a lot of people know what's going on that have been playing undercover for the good people, because this is so much bigger than what we can even anticipate. So let's start with a powerful passage from John Voight. And he's a big Trump fan anyway. So again, go beyond Trump to look at all the other stuff. I'll share a link just here on my other video of what Trump has done, the truth and facts, ending all wars, bringing world peace to so many places around the world, destroying ISIS, stopping MS-13 gang members, putting some really harsh penalties in place, sanctions on terrorist countries, the death penalty for human traffickers and drug traffickers. All these things are already taken place. Now we need to start accepting that in our life, and plus a lot more. But when you start seeing the demographics of how this is bringing everyone to a point, because this elections is about world watching. That's it. Everyone's paying attention now. So there's going to be some shifts. There's going to be some things that are going to really trigger us. The storm we've been told about is going to be the reactions from people. So just with this awareness, even if you're not willing to accept it at the moment, you're going to see it's not just me. You can see it's starting to turn. You're then going to notice things even more so because it's in the awareness now. And when things look like it's getting terrible, the war and all these things that we're now seeing, Biden's now gone after these people and they're going to retaliate back. All done by design. Just remember these words, remember these videos, and go back. Trust yourself. Trust all the information that's coming out there now, because you can view it in fear. You can get caught up in the storm. You can get into yourself into a really challenging position. It's going to be hard. Or you can watch it like a movie. You can enjoy the Great Awakening. You can think, actually, I'm going to record. I'm going to be the scribe. I'm going to describe everything that takes place, everything that I learned, everything that I would like to document and have for myself to go back to. It's two ways, and more people are going to start seeing the confirmation. So let's start. I'll share the screen. You can see I'm passionate about this. And yes, I do talk about Trump a lot at the moment because it's the truth. And the thing is, it's not about Trump, the individual. It's about what the whole world looks like after. My life changes when the world changes. When I'm happy, the world's happy. And the world's happy, so I'm happy. I want a world like that, where I'm connecting with people, knowing that we're here. The kingdom of heaven is within us. So watch this. Ready?
There is too much hate. We must never allow it to take over truths. He, Trump, has been targeted for his information that can knock down the corrupt swamp. Trump is the only man that can destroy the negative propaganda that has been sworn into this office. Can he be saved with the American people who believe in God's glory? Can we save our nation from the dark cloud that has been put upon our life streams? Yes, because Joshua promised the land of hospitality, and his sword of righteousness fought the battles left and right. the battles of right and wrong. And Jesus said that man can rise above darkness, that he can be saved with this understanding, this truth. Believe, and he shall finalize the Holy Ghost, the light of God's happiness for all to rise. And this truth can open the ways for the gifts to be. Believe that the man that can help this nation, the one man that was ridiculed, destroyed as Jesus, Trump, can come back and save the American dream for all and make America great with the dignity, with the power of who she is. The land of freedom, God's land, God's glory, the USA. Much love to you.
He's always been a Trump fan. He's always been that. Okay, I get that. So let's go on to other ones. So what else did we see recently? Snoop Dogg. And we've said that Snoop Dogg has always been outspoken, being anti-Trump. If we just go back and there was a roasting of Donald Trump, Snoop Dogg's always been a big fan of Trump. They've been friends. He's had a massive part to play, and there has been a lot of people in hip-hop that've had to take a back seat. Hip-hop's been one of the most corrupted and demonized areas, and it's all linked with the prison systems, and there's a dark gay hip hop mafia that goes on there, and satanic rituals, and all these different things. And there's been a load of original hip hop artists like Snoop Dogg, like Ice Cube, that have had to take a back seat because of how evil it was. But they've all had their roles to play. And Snoop Dogg the other day comes out, nothing but love and respect. Snoop Dogg shot a clown dressed at Donald Trump in 2017 when Trump won. There was a reason behind that, because again, it's public perception, and this war is about exposing and draining out all evil. So he said, look, the prolific rapper and advocate of equity, Snoop Dogg, has recently changed of tune when it comes to Donald Trump. In a recent interview, he sang Trump's praises after a long history of condemning the former president and his supporters. Donald Trump, he ain't done nothing wrong to me. He has only done great things for me. He pardoned Michael Harris, Snoop Dogg told the Sunday Times. So I have nothing but love and respect for Donald Trump. So Michael Harry O. Harris, an associate for Death Row Records, co-founder of Surge Night, and the founder of the label's parent company, Godfather Entertainment, was pardoned in 2021 as one of Trump's final decisions before leaving office. Snoop Dogg was famously signed by the label only to leave later in his career. He acquired it in 2022. Harris was imprisoned on charges on conspiracy and attempted murder for over 3 decades. Snoop Dogg praised Trump at this time for his communication of Harris. For his commutation of Harris. I love what they did, the rapper told the New York Post. That's great work for the president and his team on the way out. And here's the photos of this as well. So Snoop Dogg, think about the hip hop world. Then another person that was pro-Biden, and again, that's not the Biden that we're seeing at the moment, is to show the world and to wake the world up. Look at this clown, look at corruption, look at how he's unable to do anything. As a leader, he's failing miserably. And again, a lot of people voted him. So The Rock, a lot of people say The Rock's the most evil man, and he's been taken out and he's been removed, and all part of this plan. So what's The Rock's reaction to?
What do you think it... One last question for you, Nick. So I was at UFC, your sister company, brother company, at Madison Square Garden. It was when Donald Trump walked in. He has a long history with WWE. What do you think what does it mean that both the WWE audience and the UFC audience seem to have such an appreciation or celebration of Donald Trump?
Look, we welcome all people at WWE and at UFC. So we don't see ourselves as a political entity in any way, shape, or form. In fact, over the last 10 to 15 years, we've stayed away from that because we want everyone to know that they're welcome here. Red states, we sell out. Blue states, we sell out. It's not what we're focused on. What we're focused on is the in-ring product and how it delivers to the fans. And if politicians are fans of our product, they're welcome.
You got The Rock. You want Donald Trump back in the ring at WWE?
Listen, I mean, Rock against Donald Trump, I don't know how well that would work out in the ring for Donald Trump.
How about that ovation he gets, though, when he comes out?
Oh, big ovation.
Trump, yeah.
No question.
That's what I'm talking about. It's incredible. It's incredible. And,
Yeah.
I don't know what it says. That's why I wanted to ask you about your audience and the audience at UFC.
I will tell you this. I think Dwayne was talking about earlier, sort of the feelings of insecurity. I think for all of us who come from the outside, I'll speak for Dwayne, I'll speak for you.
So it was a little one, but it was all positive. If you hated Trump, like a lot of people, I mentioned the word, there's this trigger come out, wouldn't react like that. So it's again, what about that ovation? Kind of saying, what ovation? Go and look at the UFC. We'll come on to that as well. So I'm skipping through these because these were like 1-minute clips. This is big one. So Andrew Tate, I don't like him either. I don't like him. But again, it's not about us. It's a collective. Andrew Tate speaks for a lot of teenagers. Andrew Tate speaks for a lot of money chasers and entrepreneurs. And he speaks for a lot of women that don't like him but watch his stuff. He speaks for a lot of women that fancy him and love what he's about. He's a real man. Like there's all these different, there's a lot of people. Like he is so influential with his brother. So this come out, watch how clever this is. The way it starts the video, first of all, so you get in. And remember, people repeat from the people that they idolize. So as they say it all, it's going to be educational for people. And a lot of people still don't know this.
Trump was just found guilty of sexual assault.
No, he wasn't found guilty of sexual assault. So this is the funny thing. Ready? All right. A woman said he raped her in a department store, okay?
Believe all women. Nice.
A woman who is on the record saying sexy and is clearly a weirdo.
Believe all women unless they say that.
Yes, she's super ugly and super unattractive. But obviously that has nothing to do with it. You sexually assault people because you're sick of the mind, and if they're ugly, you'll do it anyway. But because he called her names and slated her after she accused him of sexual assault, he's guilty of defamation. I mean, don't say bad things about the person who falsely accused you of something. No, absolutely don't. No, don't do that. I mean, obviously, you're the world's most important, powerful man. You're a big G, self-made billionaire, genius, greatest president in our human lifetime. And some loser is calling you a bunch of names and don't say bad things about her, because defaming her, who no one knows who she is worth $89 million. Is that my understanding? Am I correct? This is Donald Trump's fault.
Trump.
So can you see, cleverly done as well. So it's putting the facts out there, doing it in a way where, yeah, that is wrong. Because someone accused him of rape and he called her names, and it wasn't even bad names, she then wins a court case, which hasn't won. Again, it's perception for defamation, which is bad mouthing someone. All these court cases that gone against Trump are going to turn around for the people that have been doing this stuff. It's education for us. So that was a big one. Then next, I love this. So this guy, I think he's a podcaster. I might be wrong, people, but he's linked with Andrew Tate. But this is a great one because, again, race is such a big thing. Ready?
Trump's a very interesting man. I remember there was a time where I was like, Trump's bad, he's racist. I succumbed to like the mass media of what they claimed he was. And I remember I hadn't spoke to Andrew for a while. So we jump on the phone. Do we get into some sort of politics? He's like to me, yo, what's your opinion on Trump? And I'm like, this guy, man, I don't really rate him. Bro, I'm like, he's a racist. Like, and he sticks up for the Ku Klux Klan and all this other stuff. He's like, show me where he said that. So I'm searching now, I go online, I'm looking. Can't find a single article, a single video. You can find articles of them claiming he states these things. I couldn't find a single video of him actually saying it. So I'm like, where did they get this from then? It's easy, they just make it up. You believed it? Then I started thinking, pulled up like 6 videos back to back of him on the news. No, I do not support the KKK. They're talking about equality and talking about making sure that the black community, the unemployment drops down, which he did. He actually done everything he said. Like he said in that video, done 0 wars. And I sat there and I was like, man, I actually got played by the media.
Brilliant, that one, because that is speaking to a lot of us. We have been played by the media, the fake news. It's perception, all of it. So that's a key one. And remember, this is just from a little scroll popping up on my feed. This is going to continue and continue and continue. So next one. This guy speaks for the liberals, hates Trump. But he's focusing on the other end now as well. He's quite aggressive and stuff as well. But libs, you've got to admit, there's a lot of aggression that comes out of you. Very opinionated, very determined in certain things. But watch this one. And again, so important with what's coming.
This is why when I say voting for pig Donald Trump is on the table, voting for pig Donald Trump is on the table. The other day in New York City, 6 illegal aliens jumped a New York City cop, NYPD's finest. They jumped a New York City cop in Times Square and were arrested and released without bail. I know it's a city thing. I know it's a state thing. I know all that. I know all that. I know all that. Okay? Stay with me. Released without bail. Came out of the courtroom on some Tupac raising the middle finger with the Detroit Red Wings jersey. Let me tell you something. What the is the world coming to? If you could be from another country, beat up a cop in New York City and walk out with no bail, what the is the world coming to? What the is the world coming to? I know, Mayor Adams, you're from Brownsville, Brooklyn. I know this like, what the have I gotten myself into? Stay with me. On the same day that that happens, cadaver Joe Biden issues an executive order about 4 quote-unquote settlers in Judea, Samaria, aka the West Bank. Some troublemakers, 3 of the 4 have already been arrested. You issue an executive order about 4 troublemaking ups who've already been arrested in Judea, Samaria, while there's a war going on, while there's 100+ hostages still being held in Gaza. You're talking about that, but you got nothing to say about beating up cops in New York City, the greatest city on earth. Maybe it's not. Maybe my city is not the greatest city on earth anymore. If you could beat up cops, if you could beat up cops in the quote-unquote greatest city in the world and be released without bail, are we the greatest city on earth? Cadaver Joe Biden, we see you. We see you. Don't worry about those in Israel. Bibi got them. Israel will take care of them. Worry about cops getting beat up in Times Square and walking out with no bail like the Tupac Shakur. Worry about that shit. This is why voting for pig Donald Trump is still on the table.
So there's anger and frustration. So what normally happens is people voted Biden because they didn't like Trump. That was what it was always about. Don't like Trump, so I'll vote Biden. It's a better option. Even though it weren't. Now they can't even use Trump as the gateway. So it now puts the onus on them. So on one hand, we're showing, well, one hand, it's easy to go and look what Trump's done, but we don't like to go and look on our own. We've seen that all. We're now seeing what other people are talking about Trump, but they're also now focusing on what Biden isn't doing. And you can't actually say anything that Biden has done as a positive. Many people have voted for Biden, and you even asked them, did you vote for Biden? When I was in Arizona, did you vote for Biden? And they're embarrassed to even answer that, and they get angry and triggered. Like I keep saying, people, this is not poking at people. You're going to get poked anyway. Your ego is not going to let you get over some of this, and you're going to hold on. But we've all made mistakes because we haven't been educated and shown the information properly. So he's saying, this is why I have to vote big Trump face, whatever he calls Trump. And this is another thing, is like, well, if you don't like Trump, who are you going to vote next? It's the tables are completely turned, and it's done like that on purpose. So we'll keep going. So next, then you've got, this is, I don't really know who she is, but it just popped up on my screen as well. She's got about 250,000 followers. Obviously, she can see she's a black woman too, but cleverly done video. And again, think of audiences.
I'm voting for Joe Biden because of all of the great things he did for Black America in just 3 years. He funded an executive order to research why Black women have a higher mortality rate during childbirth. He funded opportunity zones in minority neighborhoods so that more Black and brown people can create small businesses. He passed prison reform that reversed unjust sentences, and over 5,000 Black men were released from prison. He historically funded the HBCUs more than any other president before him. He invited hundreds of Black people to the White House and had them pray over him. And that's why I'm voting for Joe Biden 2024. Oh wait, that was President Trump. Joe Biden just funds wars.
Cleverly done. So again, people are not willing to do the research and use like, yeah, see, that's why. And she just said it wasn't. All of that stuff, that was all Trump, which I'll show you some more to back that up as well. Joe Biden just funds wars. So again, different audience, a different way of delivering the message, but you pay attention. Good finish. Next one, UFC fighting. Think of the audiences there.
Donald Trump, when we bought the company, there were no venues that wanted this thing. Now we break every venue record all over the world, and venues everywhere want us to come. But in the beginning, nobody did. But Donald Trump saw this thing early, saw that he thought it could be successful. When you think about it, the Trump brand was here. The UFC brand was here. And he brought us in, cut us a great deal, showed up to the first fight, stayed to the last fight for both of the events that we put on in his casino. And everything that ever happened to me throughout the rest of my career, Donald Trump was the first guy to either pick up the phone and call and say congratulations or write a note and send something. You know, he was always that guy.
So again, qualities of Donald Trump that people don't know about because we wasn't told. We're just seeing this more and more. And these are little TikTok, YouTube short videos. This is 35 seconds. Very powerful. People don't have the time span anymore. So you need to catch them with short ones like this. Another huge fan. This is 18 seconds. Floyd Mayweather.
Exists. You never heard anything about Donald Trump being racist until he ran for president and won. Before then, everybody was like, oh, he's on WWE, he on different shows. Everybody, they like Donald Trump. As soon as he ran for president, because people don't like the truth.
People don't like the truth, which is the truth. So again, boxing world, it's just huge, and it's more and more of these emphases. And a lot of these talks are old. It's just being shown to us more and more now because there's less things for us to be distracted on. 2020, the year was so distracted with what was taking place, you wouldn't even pay any attention to this. Now it's getting to the stage where all these are going to keep coming. So another person, 50 Cent, one of my favorites. He's always been showcasing what the truth is, especially in the hip hop world, especially with seeing P. Diddy and stuff at the moment. 50 Cent's always been trolling them. So this was yesterday. He did a comment on New York again, the mayor in New York. Maybe Trump is the answer. And this is what his post was. Look, New York launches a 53 million program to hand out to prepaid credit cards to migrant families. And 50 Cent wrote, "What the fuck, Mayor Adams? Call my phone. I don't understand how this works. Somebody explain. Can't explain this. I'm stuck. Maybe Trump is the answer." So it's just short, but again, it gets the world talking. It gets people paying attention. So then we have, where's the next one? What we got? Then we've got, this is from a rapper called Murder Mutt. I've got two clips of this one. So the first one, let me come back to this one first. The lady said about releasing over 5,000 black people from prison. He confirms that in a podcast. I've done a video on Murder Mutt and sharing this before. And this has been popping up again recently. So watch again, another audience.
So that part, but then also, give you the last one. He let niggas out of jail. I know 5 niggas that my man Law, shout my nigga Law. He has 7 years left. 7. He in the box. He say he in a box. His counselor, they bring his counselor, their counselor like say, yo, you going home in an hour. He like, yo, stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me. He like, nah, you going home in an hour. We process you. Thank Trump. This was before even election about to come. This was 2 years ago. Like, thank Trump. And I know many other niggas, he let niggas out of jail. These niggas letting in, got niggas in jail for 3 strike laws.
You go, yeah. And you do the,
both of them. 3 strike laws, they hung their head on.
Yeah.
Niggas that put niggas in jail for life. Niggas.
Yeah. What Trump represents is that thing when you say the smartest person in the room, the richest person in the room, he's that X factor. He represents uncomfortability. The thing that people don't understand is when you in pain, that's the doorway to your pleasure. Hurt people,
Fuck you mean?
No, you gotta go through pain.
Yo, that's crazy.
You understand what I'm saying? The world is lopsided. All right, let me break it down. All right.
Good watch. Let me share another one, because this is what, for me, the reason why I stood up for all this was this part. the wall, the wall, the wall. And the one thing that I want people to watch is this guy's reaction, because this is what takes place and this is what we're still going to be dealing with. So people watching this, if you're staying on, again, I thank you, because something's getting you to stay on and watch these ones, because these are confirmations and it's hard to fight against. Just look at the new world. Forget the past. We've all been lied to. New world, amazing. Watch his reluctancy to accept it, even though it's there. We can go and have a look at this one. So,
when I say the media, right? You know, all of the 2,500 media outlets, they owned by 6 companies. Oh. 6. 1,000 radio stations, 1,000 channels, 1,000. So they're giving you the illusion of having choice. Right? They give you the illusion of having choice. But I own Ciroc, I own this, all of this. Right? I'm gonna let you say fuck Ciroc and come just buy my other shit. Not even knowing it's my other shit, right? Right? So the powers that be, you gotta listen to when Truth. The powers that be, when he said, yo, I'm fighting some really important, powerful enemies. When he say shit like that,
he ain't lying, man.
Trump.
But he had one of the most powerful media companies on his side, which is Fox.
And what does?
We ain't gonna sit in the pocket of this, but if you know, you know.
Listen, right?
You know. That's it.
When they said they failed, he said build the wall, right? Right?
So they doing the wall right
now?
now?
No, when they say build the wall, right? You know why? You know why he wanted to build the wall?
Mexicans.
Do you know why he wanted to build the wall? Do you know why he wanted to build the wall?
I don't know why he wanted to build the wall.
Not for Mexicans to stop child trafficking from coming from there. Because they child traffic all the children.
So why doesn't he articulate that?
He can't.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here. Actually, my department uses Monday.com, so I'm good.
He can't speak English?
Nah.
I'm just saying, the way he speaks.
Yo, if you deal in statistics, he comes into the office and child trafficking percentage goes down 200%.
Listen, I fuck what you're saying, but why can't he articulate that?
Why can't you say certain things here?
What do you mean? You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Can you see, though, the dismissal? Child trafficking instantly goes down by 200%. Doesn't even accept that bit. That's huge. Why can't he articulate that?
No, that's
y'all wild. Yo, what did I walk into, bro? Like, what's going on? What's going on here, son?
Because we're not gonna. This debate is not gonna hash itself out here.
Bro, they trafficking children.
That's wrong. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you're telling me Trump is saving the children?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
He's locking the children.
Get the fuck out of here, man!
Are you kidding me?
Trump is saving the children?
Are you kidding me?
He's locking them up.
Oh my goodness, bro! I can't afford you on that.
And I'm telling you, so when I'm feeling makes sense to me, I say that to say this. I just challenge people to just do your own research. All that shit was to just do that. Just do your own research and then tell me what you come up with from what starts to make sense to you. Not the shit you see and be like, all right, that don't make a little bit of sense, but all right, I need something else. Do you see another else be like,
right.
Damn, I always did wonder why that, all right, this can't be. And then you start seeing a bunch of shit. Then you start understanding shit that ain't gotta be said. Then you like, and it start connecting to you. That's all I want people to do. Do your own research. Sorry.
Hey, no. Look, that's beautiful.
Never I'm sorry. Excuse me.
So again, you can see different perspectives, different way of life, but doing exactly the same. Do your own research. Go and have a look. It might not sound right. You might not accept it, but pay attention. Pay attention to all the things that are taking place, and you'll see. We're all coming to the same conclusion. The key part, though, is us as the individual. We might not want to hear it, but I'm telling you now that if you look, the world is better. The world is changing because of Donald Trump. Change that perspective, and you'll see that it only leads to one thing. So we'll move on again. Then you've got videos like this, Mike Tyson.
I like Donald Trump. Donald Trump stood up for me when they talked bad about me. And people said, what do you think about this convicted rapist? Said he was for you.
Mike Tyson was greeted at his door at 1 o'clock in the morning by a woman. He then...
Well, we don't need to go through the case again.
This is ridiculous. The woman was dancing at 8 o'clock, and this guy's in jail for 6 years. I mean, their defense essentially was that anybody that goes out with Mike Tyson knows she's going to be raped, and therefore Mike Tyson... this is his defense. I think it was a horrible job they did.
Vouching for it. He accepted that and said, Mike is my friend, and I respected that. He says all these cool things. I like Mike Tyson. He likes me. You know, it's good stuff. And his campaign, and then what am I going to say? Fuck him. He's a racist pig. Right. I'm not going to be one of those guys to say that.
Right.
So again, just short little videos, but it's powerful because you're starting to see the truth about it. Mike Tyson made a really powerful statement about Trump a long time ago. He said, the reason why I love Donald Trump, because when I was at my highest point and everyone loved me, he said, Donald Trump treated my family exactly the same way as he treated me. Whereas everyone else would love me, they just ignored my family. They were trash. They just didn't have any respect for them. It's a clear difference. And this is what I love about Donald Trump. It is the relationship that he has with other people. And what someone shared with me in Scotland, he has his golf club. And she said, I hated Donald Trump. I went in this golf club and every single person remembered my name. The service was amazing. It all stemmed down from Trump. So again, we've got now, speaking about Biden, Kevin Hart is another big person who's played a key role in this. Think about the audience.
I was watching Biden, and there's a clip of Biden, what Biden says, and this is, I probably watched this clip. I'm not into politics at all, but this, Biden goes, I got something important I want to say, and the whole world needs to hear it. I need everybody to listen right now. And he takes a beat, he goes, forget it. President of the United States. I was watching.
And he's on the Jay Shetty podcast, which is the spiritual world. Jay Shetty's another person who I feel is a con man. If you look at his story of how he got on there, this woman called him out a while ago and just said he just kept taking other people's quotes and claiming it was his own, all of them. And she shared loads of them, said he's a fraud. And you're going to see a lot of these mainstreamers, how they get into places and how they're part of a system. It's going to shock people. Like I said, it's the whole world. So little clips, it's entertaining, it's funny, but it's the truth. And then we got another one was just, this popped up, but I just feel like people need to see things like this, sticking up for America.
Macron, do you know Macron? He's a very nice guy, Macron. And really a very nice guy. I said, Emmanuel, how are you? He said, fine. I said, I heard you're going to charge American companies 25% to do things in Mexico. Who else are you doing? Well, nobody yet, but we will do other. I said, no, but you're not going to do it, Emmanuel. You're not going to, no, Donald, it has already passed. I said, well, you better unpass it, because if you don't unpass it, you're going to pay a 100% tariff on all wines and champagnes that are shipped into the United States starting tonight. No, you cannot do that, Donald. You cannot do that. I said, I can do that. In fact, I'm just signing it right now. No. Okay, Donald, look, okay, I'm not going to charge. We're not going to do it. That was the end of it, Mike. That was the end of it. It was so easy. You think Joe Biden can tell you about it? He doesn't have a clue.
So the comparison as well, which is the duality of life. We're seeing both sides, whereas before it was just one side pushed to us completely by the news, by the masses, by the celebrities, Trump this, Trump that, continuous. For 4 years, it was all about Trump. Then Trump that supposedly lost the 2020 election, which obviously there was loads of other stuff that took place within that, which we will find out. He took a step back. So it was all eyes on Joe Biden and the administration, and people started seeing the difference. We saw that on fuel prices as a big one. We saw that on the border crisis, which is a big one. We saw that on all the policies. We saw that with the inability to control situations like Afghanistan. We see that the way that he negotiates with other world leaders, can't do it all, whereas Trump can just do something like that, boom, changes. So I'm hoping this helps, because again, it's just solidifying everything that has been shared and what is to come. But you're now seeing this narrative changing, and you're going to see more and more videos like that. So for people that have been on this journey, the hardest thing is going to be is dealing with people's reactions to Trump. But because there's so many facts and truths about that, just every time you see a video, save it. Every time you get a link, put it in your notes, because it's not about you having to justify yourself in these conversations with loved ones. It's about just being able to go, what about that one? We'll check that one out. What's your thoughts on that one? You keep sharing information that you can't get round it. And then it'll come back to the individual being angry, getting triggered. And that's what we work on. The opposite of truth is fear. The opposite of love is fear. The opposite of God is fear. It's ego. It's being negative. So if we just focus on these two dualities, we pick the right one every time, the truth. Truth always wins. So again, people, I will be sharing a whole range of topics. Be doing stuff on the body and stuff as well soon. But this is a big one because it impacts the whole world. And what is happening this year, there's no getting around it. So we can either face it or we can deny it. But whatever we deny will come back to us in force. And there's a big wave that's about to approach. I'd rather be surfing it and riding it and enjoying the show rather than getting caught and consumed in it and let it crash down on us. And that's where it is going to head. Again, we have that choice to make those decisions now. We get ahead of the game. Remember, a truth is a truth always, but it's only when it's accepted by the masses that more and more people start jumping on. So that's where we're at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, subscribe to this channel and invitation to my meditation community group now as well. Live meditations where you can join in on the calls where you actually feel the energy. And there's also soul coaching aspects to that and daily teachings. It's just nice where we're heading in terms of growth, soul development. And if you like this, please do leave a super thanks and please leave your comments because it helps other people decide to watch it or not. And I'll also share on the end video titles, watch this recommended video. This is a video to show that we're in full control from the military perspective that I did last year. And for me, again, it's just more confirmations that all the good people are in the right places and things are coming to fruition now. So take care, everyone. Have a good one. And I'll see you all very soon.